Okay then, here we go. I've got 16 gifts here for my team at work, and I'm going to put these together while I talk to you guys about philosophical fun things that I always like to talk about. So I gotta start out by taking the price tags off of these things because it's tacky to give someone a gift and show them how much you paid for it. And for whatever reason, they included the price on the nutrients label for these popcorn tins. And so now I've got to find a creative way to get them off of there without damaging the nutrients and facts, because you know people need to know what's in the stuff that I'm giving them. So that'll be the first step here. I was looking for these tins because I feel like last year I did not find any tins like anywhere. I was looking for them last year and I don't remember why, but I always like these kind of old-fashioned Christmas tins. I thought they look pretty cool. And so I was looking around. I was gonna go all the way out in town to somewhere and try and find some tins. And a friend of mine was like, why don't you just go to Dollar General? And I was like, I don't know. I guess I never thought about that. So realistically speaking, I just wanted tins to store some baked goods in, because historically speaking, I don't like giving like money gifts out at Christmas. Like, I don't like giving out money for sure at Christmas. I like to give out gifts of some sorts. And my work Christmases, I've always just done like a baked good, like something that I made with my own hands, so there's no direct financial exchange involved with it. Well, I guess things have changed enough to where I still want to do that, and I will make a baked good for these gifts, so it's like you have something fresh and like something that I made you that was significant to me and hopefully means something to them. Like, I always feel like it means something if someone takes the time out of their day to make something for you. And then I really just needed tins to store said baked goods in, but then these tins of course have like various forms of popcorn in them, and I was like, well, if I buy all these tins and I gut them of the popcorn, what am I realistically gonna do with 16 sets of popcorn? And the answer is I would not eat it. I would want to eat it, but then I would blow up like a blimp, and as I've already discussed, I have problems putting on my pants. I don't need to make that any worse by eating 16 tins worth of popcorn. So what solution did I go with? That solution was pretty simple. Just keep the popcorn in the tins. I will give them little cards, and I will bake them some goodies, and it'll be a very Merry Christmas. This will be the first year that the family is doing like a vacation at Christmas. I feel like we've talked about it before, like doing a family vacation instead of doing traditional Christmas. And I'm excited for the vacation. It's a good time. But like whenever I have like kids of my own, I don't think I'm gonna want to go anywhere for Christmas. Like, there's the magic of having Christmas at your house and waking up that morning and seeing if Santa came and all that stuff. And we'll be back in time for Christmas, and like I don't have any kids, so it's not really of any consequence right now. I also generally just don't take a lot of time off at the hospital. I work at a hospital, but I don't take a lot of time off around the holidays, mainly because it's the popular time to take off. Like, everybody takes time off at the holidays. And so I don't want to just be that same person who's taking all the same time off as everyone else. And I think I'm gonna lower this camera angle because you guys can't see these tins. They're not in the camera, are they? Ugh. It's been all this time trying to get something that's a good angle for you guys, and it's kind of tough, but we will get there. So let's see, did that fuzzy fall off my mic? The fuzzy fell off my microphone. I don't know how that affects the sound or not. I'll try to get the fuzzy back on the microphone. Alright. So, you guys can still see me from head to toe for the most part. You can now see the tins as I carve the knife into them. So yeah, I'm literally just taking a box cutter and cutting out the price tag and peeling it off by hand. But yeah, anyway, ever since I've been in leadership at work, I have always tried to get my team something for Christmas. It's kind of just the little sentiments and things, like we work together and we have our differences and our hard moments, but we also, I mean, I feel like we're all people, and at the end of the day, I feel strongly about like the spirit of Christmas, if you will. Call it corny, call it what you like. I like to believe in Christmas for the spirit more so than whatever else it brings. And like gift giving is a part of Christmas, and like everybody like buys into commercialism and makes that like Christmas is a devil because we're doing commercialism and like forcing it upon people. And I don't necessarily see it that way. Obviously, yes, they commercialize the crap out of Christmas and use it as an excuse to get people to spend money. But like to the same end, like what don't they use as an excuse to get people to spend money? Like any excuse that a business can come up with to try and convince their consumer to spend money, they are going to exploit. And that's just like business, and people get up in arms and upset about it, but it's like, it's just money makes the world go around, and businesses are out to make money, and the sooner you can accept that, the less often you'll be hurt by the crappy things that they do. My thing is to celebrate within my means and in a way that makes sense to me, and I always try and give gifts that in my mind have meaning. And so, like, as I've admitted to, these tins came from Dollar General, and most people will be like, oh my gosh, Dollar General tins, that's a tacky gift. But it's not necessarily the gift so much as the thought of even giving one. Like, for years, I have worked in many places and not gotten anything for Christmas. And the first like full-time job that I had was the first job where they did give out things for Christmas, and it was honestly, it was a pretty cool program what they did. And they did like the 12 days of Christmas, but like they gave away X amount of gift cards every year. And so they would do a drawing, and they would say, okay, on this day, this person won this gift card or whatever. And it was a cool little event. I really liked it, and everybody in the store got something. It was just a matter of what you got. And so that kind of inspired me. I've not done the whole 12 days of Christmas thing. I usually do something small, mostly because it's coming out of my own pocket, and I'm only going to spend so much money on people. And it gets kind of weird if you spend a whole lot of money on your team, because then it's like, ugh, yeah, I don't know, there's a whole stigma around that too. And so the goal is never to spend a whole lot of money and do anything crazy, outrageous. It's just to like let them know that you're thinking about them and that you care and that they are important to you. As a leader in an organization, I can attest to the fact that like good workers are incredibly valuable and very hard to come by. And I feel like that's where a lot of people in the workforce kind of oversell themselves. They feel like they're these really incredible workers who just bust it and do all this stuff, but like realistically speaking, or at least to my standards, nobody can ever measure up. And of the 42 some odd people I've like managed or supervised in one way, shape, or form, there's only ever been maybe like 3 of them that I really valued as like hardworking employees, and like if they would leave, I would be lost without them. And that's not a very good ratio, but I mean, it's just kind of the reality we live in, and everybody has their own standards of like what a good worker is. And for me, I set that standard. Like, if you cannot perform at the level in which I can perform, then I don't consider you to be that valuable. But we're getting a little bit into the weeds here, but like, there is a task at work and everybody's trying to figure out how long they think it should fairly take to do this task. And myself and a different supervisor were able to do the task in like an hour and a half's time. And mind you, like, myself and said supervisor hadn't done this task in years, and we made several mistakes, very like simple rookie mistakes while doing the task, because we haven't done it in years. And still it took us an hour and a half to do it. And so I was setting the expectation that it should take 2 hours to do it. So it's like, 2 people, 2 hours. It took me and the other leader an hour and a half to do it. That sounds like a fair expectation. And the other people in the room were like, lost their minds. They're like, you and this other supervisor cannot be a fair judgment of how long that task takes. And I was kind of bothered by that. I was like, and why exactly do you feel that way? Why do you feel that myself and this other individual are an unfair time estimate? And basically they just said that leaders have a better work ethic than people who aren't leaders. And there's definitely some truth to that, but I feel like it's kind of crap that we just accept that we're just like, okay, we're not gonna ask any more out of these people. We're just gonna accept the fact that they have lame work ethic and move on with it. And I mean, there's so many things wrong with the modern working market, like the raise system, especially our raise system is baloney, in the fact that pretty much everybody gets one and it's all the same amount and it's never enough. But I try to be the glass half full kind of guy. I always say Outlook is a very powerful tool, not the email service, but like your own personal outlook on things. And so like, I'm just happy to be employed, be making this decent money, and the fact that I even get a raise every year. But like, if we're looking at things from the perspective of someone who can barely make ends meet, if you come to work every day and you're busting your butt and you're making the same as somebody who's not busting their butt, or making the same, or getting a raise just the same as someone who's not busting their butt, like, you have no incentive to be this rock star at work if they're not going to incentivize you. And that's kind of the modern problem that we find ourselves in. And like, until they get to a point where they can fix that, there's really no fixing it at all. Because at the end of the day, we are all at work for one thing, and that is to earn a living. Like, the modern society that we have built ourselves into demands it. And so, like, if you did not need to earn a living for your life, you would not be spending 8 hours of your day at work. And I don't care what anybody says, you wouldn't, unless you're like a content creator maybe, or someone who writes for a living, or maybe a movie star. But even to some degree, like, a job's a job. And if like acting in movies is your job, I feel like at some point in time it feels like a job, especially if you're on like a TV show where you actually have to go and act and do things like on a daily basis. Like, I don't know, like an A-list actor like The Rock, for example, I'd be interested to figure out what his schedule looks like, because he's in a lot of movies, and obviously it takes a long time to film a lot of movies. So is his like time basically just booked up filming and filming and filming and filming and filming until he finally says, to heck with it, I'm gonna take this year off and not film any movies? I don't know. But at any rate, if there was no need for money, then very few of us would be working, if any of us at all. And that is the ugly reality of why we're at work. And so if we cannot provide people with proper pay to incentivize them to work hard, then how can we expect anything out of them more so than what they're giving? And that's the infinite circle that we find ourselves in, because as a business, like obviously you don't want to pay your people so much that you're losing money. So it's like, how much profit do you need to keep the wolves back from the door? And then how much of that can you shell out to your people? And like, if I ever ran a business, and this is just an easy thing to say, like, ooh, I'm shooting the stuff, and if I ever ran a business, I'd do it this way. But if I ever ran a business, like, I would treat my people well, but they would also have to treat the company well too. Like, if you're being a lame loser, then I'm just gonna let you go. I'm not gonna play all this dancing around and try and figure out how to help you perform and all that jazz. Like, we're here to do work, and I'm gonna treat you well while you're here, and then when you're not here, you're doing whatever you're doing. And that's how I would run a business if I were ever doing so. I think about it quite frequently as I get more and more involved in this animation project. I think it would be amazing to be able to start an animation studio. And like, what would that look like if I were the head of some animation studio? How would I run it, etc., etc.? And like, from a business standpoint, like you have to be out to make a profit. It doesn't make any sense to have a business and just float along. But like, where does your profit margins like belong? Like, if you're making 130% profit, like I feel like 100% profit's good. And if you're making 130, then you give that 30 out to the people who helped make it happen. And they'll probably never be fully satisfied, but if they can at least recognize, like, hey, we were profitable this year, we made 130%, the business only needs 100 to run, that other 30 is going to be distributed between you guys. And like, obviously you have to be smart with it. Like, if you seriously need the 100% to keep the business going, then, and you only make 99 that year, then you're not giving something away. Like, make it clear that it's not an expectation, but it is something that is on the table, and it incentivizes your people to perform. Incentive is a powerful thing. And as I said before, we all have to be very aware of where we are and what we're doing and why we're there and why we're doing these things. And if people are going to work to make a living, then we need to adhere to what they need to make a living. Like, that's just the natural flow of things. And as I tend to do, I got off on this random magical tangent about pay structures and if I were running my own business. Speaking of the animation thing real quick, that's first part of that is due in this coming Monday. I never know what day you guys are watching these on, so I don't know what day that is for you, but it's like 2 days away for me, and I'm beyond thrilled to see what they come up with. And my hope is to get the pitch deck, character sheets, and pilot episode from these people. And then I gotta try and find agents and stuff to be pitching this animation out to. And how cool would that be to be pitching an animation? And how cool would it be if it actually got picked up? And that could be my start in the writing world. And it's wild to think about all of these things and how people get to be where they are and just like how they happened upon it. I like watching biographies of successful people, and that's like always my favorite part of it. It's like figuring out what they did to get their foot in the door in the industry. So like today I was watching the biography of Shawn Michaels, who's a very popular wrestler, one of my favorites of all time. And just an incredible performer all around. I've seen his story a great multitude of times, and like I said, I always just watch it just to figure out like how did he break into the industry? What did he do? And no person's journey is going to be the exact same thing as the next person's journey, but it is nice to know these things and to have that to compare it against. So like, whatever he did to get in the industry can help me get in the industry if I follow his steps, or if I attempt them enough to figure it out. And that's what, like, right now I'm trying to find my way into the industry. I've written books, I've written several books, and I'm doing local promotions, I'm doing online promotions, and I'm trying my darndest to navigate my way through that and reach some level of recognition and success. But like, the pathway is different for everybody, and it's ever changing too. And so like, right now it just feels like I'm bashing my head against the wall, and that I've been trying at this for well over 2 years, if not longer, and just getting absolutely nowhere with it. And I kind of have to remind myself, because like, I have been writing seriously and professionally since 2015, but I have not been published since 2015. I've only been published since 2020. And that was only 3 years ago, almost 4 now. But like, still, I've only been published for 3 years, and I'm expecting this great success and stuff. And like, I've been putting several years worth of work into the success, all this behind the scenes stuff that no one necessarily sees. They just see the end product, the books, and that's fine. But and nothing ever is an instant overnight success. Like, it's very rare that someone's first attempt at something ever like blows up into this incredible thing, and now the whole world's paying attention to them. It's the thing that we wish would happen, and it's these Cinderella stories that we hear about that damages the expectation of the process, but it is not at all the reality that we should ever expect or live in. And so essentially, I need to back it up when I start getting into myself and being like, oh my gosh, I am doing everything horribly, horrendously wrong because I haven't made it yet. And I need to back it up and be like, okay, like, no, it's not the end of the world. You've only been published for 4 years, and it takes people time and effort and a great deal of perseverance to actually make it in anything, really. I watch a lot of Brandon Sanderson's online teachings. I find them to be extremely useful and very helpful. And he talks a lot about the time in which it took him to get famous. And he was 7 books deep before he finally sold his first. And then obviously he blew up into this huge sensation that the whole world loves and adores and appreciates. And as great and as wonderful as that is, it took him time. And that's one thing he always says is like, keep persevering at it and keep writing and keep moving in the right direction, because eventually when one of them takes off, if you've got 7 other projects lined up that have already been published, then that's just 7 other things for your audience to be exposed to. And so I have to keep that positive mindset going, keep that movement in a forward direction, but it's just tough when I've been doing it for a decent amount of time and haven't seen really any significant growth out of it. Like, I've gained maybe seriously 2 fans in the 2.5 years that I've been doing this, and it really makes me feel like at this point I'm doing something wrong. Like, I can't be gaining a fan a year. Like, there's no way that I'll ever get anywhere. And it's easy to wallow in this idea of just never succeeding, and like, why am I even wasting my time doing this if I'm doomed to just never succeed? But you just can't let it get you down, and you have to keep pushing through it and plugging through it, and knowing that in some way or another I will succeed in this. And if I just keep at it and keep going, success will follow. And I have to keep that mindset going. And so that's a big motivator and a big help of just keeping me get through this. I now have to sort through these cards, and so I kind of have to focus on what I'm doing. And so I needed to wrap up that tangent so I could move on here. I've got a total of, I think, 15 employees that I need to write up cards for. And 15 employees that I need to write up cards for. That's the other part I always talk about. I like genuine gifts. So I handwrite in their cards, and I write them a little personalized message. I bake them something that I made myself. That is what Christmas should be about. Genuine gifts and showing genuine pieces of appreciation for people, and not just buying a gift because you feel obligated to do so, and not just telling them that you appreciate them because it's the thing to do. Like, it has to be genuine, and if it's genuine, then it's appropriate for Christmas in my book. And so I'm just going to go down the roster and try and think of fun things to say for everybody, and get these work cards written up. I sometimes watch videos of and maybe it's a little bit different because they're just signing their autograph over and over again, but Brandon Sanderson will from time to time make a video where he is signing autographs and conducting conversations at the same time. And I never really realized how much of a skill that is until I'm doing this right now. And I have to focus on what I'm writing in this card so that I don't make this illegible, ugly, and terrible thing. I've only got enough cards here to write everybody a card. And so as I'm doing this, I'm completely silent and focused as I'm writing down these fun little messages for people. And of course it makes for a boring video because who wants to sit here and watch me write stuff all day? And I was I need to talk, I need to be talking, but I was I really need to focus on what I'm doing, because if I don't, then I'm gonna make terrible mistakes here. But yeah, so just hoping to make some fun little messages here for everybody to enjoy. Wishing people and their family a very happy and Merry Christmas, happy holidays. I do have one individual who does not celebrate Christmas, and so I need to figure out, I try to find a neutral card for them that doesn't really say Merry Christmas or anything like that on it, and hopefully they're not offended by the fact that I'm giving them something. But to the same end, I don't want them to feel left out, of course. If I'm doing something for my team, I have to be able to do something for everybody. That was terrible. I'm apparently dehydrated or something because this thing does not stick. That's okay. I'm gonna use tape to help it anyway. But yeah, so they don't celebrate Christmas, and so I try and give them something that's Christmas neutral. It's not all Merry Christmas, force my holidays, oops, down your throat. Because I myself am not a religious person at all, so I don't celebrate Christmas for the religious purposes of it. And because of that, I have to find my own reason to celebrate Christmas. And that's why I've come up with this whole like idea of legitimacy and stuff. And gosh, that looks ugly. But all right, who's next? Who is next to Roni? All right, I'm literally just going over the shifts in my head and being like, oh, this person runs this shift. I have X amount of people on this shift, and these are all the people. And so that's how I'm doing the roster in my head of who all is getting cards and who all I need to remember and all that good stuff. I'm giving them my author signature because maybe, just maybe, they'll be tempted to buy a book. That would be interesting. If I could get everybody who I've touched in this world to buy a book. I wonder how many people I can honestly say that I have touched in this world. I think the next time I do a video like this, I'm going to get like myself a drink. I say that like I can't just get up and get a drink right now. But like I want like a more festive drink. I'm gonna try and make my own eggnog here pretty soon. And this card is stuck. Like jackknifed in the envelope. That was weird. I legitimately could not get in there. My tongue is so dry that it's hard. I have a hard time sealing these envelopes. And that shouldn't really be a thing because I drink a lot of water. I try and stay very well hydrated to keep the migraines away. I have a video about migraines, if you guys haven't already watched that one, and how I feel like they are a source for my creativity. And I did not read that card at all. I hope that I didn't write something too terribly stupid on it. Blah, 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 blah. Who's next? I'm gonna have to look up how to spell this person's name because I don't know how to spell their name. Why else would I have to look up how to spell their name? Duh. We're gonna do, honestly, and I think because we're short-staffed right now, like I bought enough gifts for everyone on my team, assuming that I'm fully staffed. But given the fact that I have like at least 4 holes, I don't think I'm gonna need this many 10s. So might have to give some out to other people apparently. Blah, 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 Teresa. I think of the person who took my spot as a supervisor, and I wonder if they do any of these fun, festive things that I used to do for my team, or if like the team even sees and recognizes it. Because like I always did like I baked them things, and I could see the person who replaced me maybe like going out and buying them some goods or something. And I was like, do people see that they're like, wow, like he actually baked us stuff, like that's a big deal? Or are they just happy to have something Or are they still happy to have something but appreciative when they see that I tried to put a little extra effort into it? I don't know. It's interesting. But, Teresa. I think I spelled that wrong. I really should, like, take the time to try and look these things up. Let me get my work phone and try and figure that out. Because that'd be embarrassing if I spelled her name wrong. It's like, oh my gosh, you can't spell names? And that's like something that I pride myself in. Like, pay enough attention to spell things right? I'm a writer, so I have to do these sorts of things. Let's see here. Uh-oh, I got sticky things all over me. Okay. Let's see if I can find the person's name. Pull their address. When did he email me? Did you email me over the holiday, dude? Like, just take the day off. It can wait. Let's see. Notice of acceptance. Teresa. Teresa. I put an extra E in there. I don't know what I was thinking. And my tape apparently failed because it didn't get taped. But I'll just do one of those thingies. And it looks ugly. And they'll be like, oh my gosh, this guy. But maybe, like, it'll be real and they'll respect that. All right, so there's my 3 morning folk. Now let's move on to the mid shift. I definitely want to give this person a fun thing. Like, let's see here. Let's see. You usually put them in parentheses, I feel like, right? It's gonna be either really sweet or it's gonna be really weird. I don't know. I think it's supposed to be like a little Excel formula. He might get it. He says he really likes playing around with Excel. And so, yeah. We'll see. He might just be like, wow, that was a lame card. And I'm alright with that. I feel like I shouldn't be so alright with people thinking that I'm lame, but that's okay. I am just trying my darndest to make good gestures, and I think they will be well received. I don't know historically if they did anything for this team for Christmas or not. So if you were previously getting nothing, to get something is always good. I think the tape just came off of Teresa's card again. Girl, your tape is not having a very good time at all. Alrighty then. Bloop. I'm not really paying attention to any of the ones I'm giving people. I want Teresa to have Santa Claus. Oh wait, no, that's not Teresa, this is David. Oh well. Alright, and I wrote his in all caps too, as though he's like, I'm yelling at him. Pay attention to this. Oh. Alright, cool. Let's see here. Who's next? I haven't done a snowman yet. Gotta do a snowman. And let's do the trailer park one. I don't know. It sounds bad that they have a trailer park 10 that I'm giving people, but whatever. Whoops. My handwriting is notoriously bad as well. Bam! All right, now we're really getting somewhere. I'm cranking them out. Oh no, don't do that yet. I almost sealed the envelope without putting the card in there. That'd have been silly. Ooh, get in there, you. Come on now. There we go. Yep, and boom. And now we seal the envelope. Ugh, you little punk. These envelopes, these cheap Dollar General envelopes have the worst adhesive apparently. They do not stay for nothing. I'm trying to roll up this tape, and the tape ain't playing ball either. It is just one thing after the other. There we go. Got it. So yeah, like there, that's the summary of my mid-shift right now. So let's move on to evenings then, I guess. What was I doing? I don't remember now. Oh yeah, evening people. Evening people. All right. I'm singing over here. I should be like Christmas caroling or something. I don't know. Maybe if I do this again next year, I'll be better at it. Trying to talk to you guys while I'm licking these envelopes. But I feel like, well, for one, these stupid things aren't sticking. That's frustrating. But I feel like I should be saying a lot more. But it's hard to focus on writing cards and saying things at the same time. Maybe I'll just have to do some more editing on this one to make it less lame. All right. Who's next? We'll do her. She's gonna be one of these. Which one? What do I have? I have a Santa, and I got puppies, and I have 2 trailer parks left. I think I'm gonna give her Santa. And who's left? Because that person needs something neutral. I think I'll give her one of these snowmen. All right. That's a pretty clever rhyme. They call me Mr. Rhyme Time after all these cards. All right. Let's get it in there. Lick the thing so it won't stick. Terrible. Just terrible. Envelopes from Dollar General do not stick. They do not stick, Sam I am. Alright, who's next? Holiday wishes. I think she's gonna get one of the snowmen. Yes. Alright. I'm banging these cards out now. Be done before midnight, which is definitely doable considering I don't even think it was 10 o'clock when I started doing this. It gets late, obviously, sooner than it normally does. And that's throwing, I can't set the time off. But, these envelopes, I don't know why it frustrates me so much that they don't stick, but it does. Every time I try and stick one on there and it doesn't stick, it makes me very upset. It's weird how certain things try my patience faster than other things, and non-sticky envelopes are definitely up there as for the frustrating things in my life. All right. Okay, so I think now I just need to do my 3 leaders and I'm done. Because I've got the 3 morning people, 2 people on mid-shift, 3 afternoon people, my 3 leaders, and I'm donezo gunzo. Alright, cool. So, you're gonna get Snowman, because Snowman is my favorite. Don't tell nobody. I'm gonna need to come back to these. I'm not gonna lick this one because I know that I need to get back in here anyway, and it's just gonna make me mad when I lick it and it doesn't stick. Lick it, no stick it, you know? That sounds weird, but that's just the way it is. All right, so there's that one. This person's gonna get a cozy little snowman. One more and I'm done, which means I do have quite a few left over, but that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. Oh wait, no, I don't want to give him that one. I want to give him Santa Claus. Santa Claus. All right, cool. And my last thing of puppies. We'll go to the other person. All right, I think that's everybody, which means I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tens left over. So I know 2 of those. Oh wait, no, that's not everybody. Whoopsies, I almost forgot about my part-timers. That would have been traumatic. And actually, no, I forgot 3 people. 1, 2, 3. So I only have 2 tens extra, which sounds oddly correct, but I thought that I bought an extra 10 for like just in case purposes. So now I'm concerned as to how I have all these 10s left over. Anywho, let's see here. gotta start looking them again. I feel like this was a really good concept. I was like, ooh, I'm gonna give away these gifts and talk to the camera and make a great video about it. And I am literally just doing my thing and not talking to you guys at all. And like the more and more I make these videos, the more and more I'm running into that where I'm like just filming myself doing something, but because I'm not consciously thinking about talking to you, I'm not talking to you. And like to a degree, like I need to consciously be thinking about doing other things. Ugh. Like I can't write these notes and not be thinking about what I'm writing, obviously. So there's that. But then there's also the idea, do I have any puppies left? I do. I got, all right. I hate some of these messages. I feel like are so generic. Thanks for all that you do, and I wish you and your family the best. How do you be more authentic? Try and pull personal stuff, but I only get to know people so well. Come on now. Get in there, you. Yeah, I have to put like music over this or something. Maybe just put a voiceover over me sitting here doing nothing, so you guys have something to watch while I talk about something. I mean, this will make great stock footage, I'm sure. I never know what I need stock footage for until it comes time to want stock footage. Tiffany. All right. Well, she's getting a trailer park. And I'll give Santa Claus out to this person. And then I think we'll be good. All right. Now I'm feeling a little better. I almost forgot. Well, I almost forgot my whole weekend coverage. Terrible, terrible manager, guys. I got this whole team of people holding down the fort on weekends, and they were just like, dang, what do we chop liver? We don't get nothing. No, I included you in my count because I included you. I just briefly got excited about being done and then realized that I was not done. I was very far from done, but now, after I write this one, I am done. So I appreciate you guys stopping by and watching me write these up. I feel like the first half of the video was good. We had a solid conversation. The second half kind of fell off the rails, and I was just really focused on getting this done. So I'll figure out a way to make it work out in post. And if you guys are like, no, we're fine just watching you make stuff, then cool. I'm cool with that too. But at any rate, that has been another wonderful video. I appreciate y'all for stopping in.